There's a pit out back where the earth caves in, where they used to throw what they called their sins. No marker stone, no holy ground, just a hollow place that swallows sound. I was 16 when they dragged me there, with a rope, a lie, and a vacant stare. Said, this is where your kind gets laid. Then they shoved me down in the shallow grave. And the dirt fell fast, but I didn't die. I just lay there listening to the sky. No grave will hold me, I still breathe below. Through the roots of guilt and the lies you sow, every nail you drove couldn't keep me still. Now I'm rising slow with a different will. Hear me scratching through the broken clay, like a voice you buried won't stay away. I ain't gone, I ain't saved, and no grave will hold me in place. They went back home like it always done, like they buried more than a man undone. But the night grew thick and the dogs wouldn't rest, and the wind spoke low through every chest. There were footsteps heard where no one walked, and a voice in the walls that never talked. Every mirror cracked when I passed it near, even shadows learned how to fear. And the ground stayed warm where they left me dead, like it kept my pulse instead. No grave will hold me, I still breathe below. Through the roots of guilt and the lies you sow, every nail you drove couldn't keep me still. Now I'm rising slow with a different will. Hear me scratching through the broken clay, like a voice you buried won't stay away. I ain't gone, I ain't saved, and no grave will hold me in place. There's a man I see in the edge of sight, walking fields alone in the dead of night. He don't speak, but he wears my face with a twisted grin I can't erase. And he stands where they try to end my breath, like he feeds on the echo of my death. He said, you ain't you anymore, you're the thing they buried in that dirt before. And I felt my bones start to shift and crack, like the past was clawing its way back. Every heartbeat hit like a hammer blow from a place beneath I don't control. I clawed my way through the soaked black ground with a scream so deep it made no sound. Every inch was pain I couldn't name, but I rose back up, not the same. And the sky looked down like it turned away, like it knew I shouldn't walk this way. Now I walk through town, but I ain't seen, just a passing chill in a waking dream. I hear them speak of a curse out there in the hollow fields where they left me bare. And I smile slow when they lock their doors, when they feel that scratch beneath their floors. If they thought that death would make me fade, they should have known what they really made. No grave will hold me, I've crossed that line where the dead don't rest and the lost don't die. Every breath I take ain't meant to be, just a curse carved out of memory. Hear me calling through the dirt and bone, from the place they swore I'd stay alone. I ain't peace, I ain't saved, I'm the truth they buried in a grave. No grave will hold me, I'll walk again through the cracks of time and the weight of sin. Every step I take shakes the ground below like a warning sign. They'll never know if there's mercy, it ain't for me, just a shadow walking endlessly. I don't live, I don't fade, I'm the ghost that the dirt betrayed. So if you stand where the earth sinks low and you feel something move below, don't stay long, don't make a sound, 'cause something's lost, don't stay in the ground. And when they rise, they don't come to save, come back wrong from a shallow grave. That crooked hanging tree, and something in it knew my name before I ever came. The path was thin, the ground was dry, like it had learned not to ask why. Each step I took felt slightly wrong, like I had been there all along. The rope still swung but made no sound, like silence kept it pinned to ground. And then every leaf that dared to fall seemed to remember it all. I stood there close, too close to stare, like something waited for me there. But I turned away before it could decide I understood. The wind went still, the light went pale, like even time refused to tell. And every breath I tried to keep just slipped into the deep. I walked away from the hanging tree that day and left the truth to stay. No final word, no looking back, just footprints on the track. Oh, I tried to stop, I tried to stay, but I kept moving anyway. And every step I tried to take still knows what I forsake. The bark was carved with names half gone, like memory had been done wrong. Not erased, not fully there, just fading in the air. And I swear the tree leaned in, like it remembered what has been. Not judgment sharp, not mercy kind, just something left behind. The sky above stayed cold and wide, like it had nothing to decide. The ground don't speak, it only holds what every silence unfolds. And every truth I try to flee still grows beneath the tree. I walked away from the hanging tree alone. Heaven felt like I've been shown. No end to it, no place to hide, just something on the other side. Oh, I tried to run, I tried to flee, but it followed after me. And every breath I try to find still hangs inside my mind. Now when I pass that edge of land, I don't look back, I don't stand too long where branches twist and sway, like they remember yesterday. The tree still waits, it doesn't call, it only watches over all. And every shadow that it casts feels like it holds the past. Not evil, not redeemed, just there, like something frozen in the air. It ain't the rope, it ain't the wood, it's everything misunderstood. Every truth we try to see still grows that hanging tree. And walking away don't set you free from what you've already seen, till everything you leave behind still walks inside your mind. I saw the wreck before I knew what truth was waiting in view. The metal bent like twisted prayer, but no one left to answer there. The sirens came too late to hear, like they were never real near, just echoes crawling through the haze of shattered glass and burned days. A Bible lay cut. Speaks in wood and broken nails, and hollow halls and winding trails. Every step becomes a sound, like something waking underground. The wind don't knock, it slips inside, through gaps where secrets try to hide. And every breath the walls release feels like it's begging for release. like fading skin from all the things that lived within. The porch leans forward like it knows the weight of every truth it holds, and every window cracked and wide feels like an eye I can't deny. The door still hangs on rusted hinge like it's afraid to let me in, but it opens slow without a hand, like it already understands. And then I heard it start to speak, not words, just rhythm in the creek, a language old as broken beams, built from forgotten dreams. It's the creaking old house calling my name, when nothing here has stayed the same. Every floorboard tells the truth of everything I tried to lose. Oh, I walk, but it walks with me through every room it used to be, and every sound I try to fight just echoes deeper in the night. The hallway stretches longer now than anything I once knew how. The walls lean close then drift away, like they can't decide to stay. A portrait hangs with eyes half blind, still watching from a different time, and every time I pass it slow, it feels like it begins to know. The basement breathes beneath the floor like it remembers what came before, and every step that leads me down feels like it's pulling me further down. The ceiling sighs, the hinges cry, like something never learned to die, and in that sound I understand this house was never just a land. It's the creaking old house calling my name, when nothing here has stayed the same. Every floorboard tells the truth of everything I tried to lose. Oh, I walk, but it walks with me through every room it used to be, and every sound I try to fight just echoes deeper in the night. I see my younger self again, standing where the halls begin, but when I reach he fades to dust, like memory losing trust. The attic hums a broken tune underneath the fading moon, and every box I left behind is filled with versions of my mind. The house don't sleep, it don't forgive, it only knows how things once lived, and every crack inside its frame still whispers back my name. And now I know I never left, I'm just a ghost it hasn't kept, a story carved into its bones, a voice inside the wooden tones, and every creak becomes a chain that ties me back to here again. No matter where I try to roam, the house has always been my home. It's the creaking old house calling my name, when nothing here has stayed the same. Every floorboard tells the truth of everything I tried to lose. So I walk, but it walks with me through every room it used to be, and now I know I can't escape. The house remembers every shape. Now I sit where silence grows between the beams, the darkness knows, and every sound becomes my fate in rooms that never learned to wait. And maybe I was never free, just part of its machinery, a voice inside the wood and dust, inside the creaking house of rust. The house still breathes, it still remains through broken The tires hum on broken ground, where heaven don't make a sound. Just dust and heat and fading light, pulling me into the night. The road don't end, it just declines through crooked trees and crooked signs. And every mile I lose control feels like it's taking part of my soul. This road with no clear plan, just a tired heart and trembling hands. They said don't go where the map runs thin, but I was already deep within. The radio died mid-broken song, like even sound knew something wrong. And every shift of gravel hiss felt like a warning I dismissed. Old bonds lean like they've seen too much, like they remember every touch of those who passed and never came back the same, or back the same. The sky went low, the air went thick, like something waited just to hit quick. And every breath I tried to keep pulled me further down the steep. It's a dirt road to damnation I ride, where truth and shadow coincide. No turning back, no guiding flame, just whispers calling out my name. Oh, I tried to steer away from sin, but the road just pulled me in. And every choice I thought was mine leads me further down the line. Lead further down the line. I passed a sign half-eaten through that read no hope for what you do, but someone carved beneath the rust. Too late for those who lose their trust. The fields were black with burning grass, like something evil came to pass. And every shadow in the haze looked like it knew my final days. A house stood dead beside the bend, no door, no window to defend, just silence heavier than stone, like it was built to take the loan. The wheels kept rolling slow and grim, like I was being dragged within. And every mile I tried to flee just tightened what was chasing me. It's a dirt road to damnation I ride, where truth and shadow coincide. No turning back, no guiding flame, just whispers calling out my name. Oh, I tried to steer away from sin, but the road just pulled me in. And every choice I thought was mine leads me further down the line. Standing in the haze, not moving, just those hollow stares, like versions of me I abandoned, waiting where the road was landing. They didn't speak, they didn't move, just proof of everything I proved. And every step I took before now stood outside that broken door. The road ahead just disappeared, but somehow still I stayed near, like something deeper made me stay, where damnation chose the way. It ain't a place, it ain't a gate, it's every choice we think is fate. Every lie we let survive while we pretend we're still alive. And hell don't always burn or scream, sometimes it looks just like a dream. A road that never let you turn, but let you slowly learn to burn. It's a dirt road to damnation I know, and I can feel there's nowhere to go. No mercy left, no hand to save, just echoes digging every grave. Oh, I tried to fight, I tried to run, but the journey's already done. And every path I thought was free was just the road tires on forgotten ground. Don't follow it, don't chase its call, or you'll lose the road, lose it all. The dust still rises, night still stays. The road don't end, it only plays. And I remain where souls are spun, on the dirt road to damnation done. Ain't no cars out here no more, just me. And the sound of everything falling apart. There's a stretch of road that don't lead anywhere, just a broken line in a cold night air. Street signs twisted like they gave up too, like they tried to point me somewhere true. Boots dragging slow on the gravel and dust, like they're carrying more than they ever could trust. I've been walking circles I can't outrun, under a sky that won't see what I've done. And the silence cuts so deep, it don't let a man sleep, just plays back what he keeps. I'm crying on an empty road, no one hears a sound. Every tear just disappears into this hollow ground. Ain't no headlights coming, ain't no saving grace, just a broken man staring at his past face. Yeah, I'm crying on an empty road, nowhere left to go. Every mile behind me, something I don't wanna know. I tried to run, but I carried the load. Now I'm left here, crying on an empty road. I remember your laughter cutting through the dark, like a flame still burning in a dying spark. You said one day you'll have to face what's real, but I traded truth for the way I feel. Now your voice echoes in the wind tonight, like it's stitched in every wrong and right. And I swear I see you in the distance there, but it fades when I get anywhere. Every step just brings me back to the weight I tried to lack, and the life I let go black. I'm crying on an empty road, no one hears a sound. Every tear just disappears into this hollow ground. Ain't no headlights coming, ain't no saving grace, just a broken man staring at his past face. Yeah, I'm crying on an empty road, nowhere left to go. Every mile behind me, something I don't wanna know. I tried to run, but I carried the load. Now I'm left here, crying on an empty road. I thought I could outrun it, outdrive it, outlive it, but it don't work that way. It just waits till you're too tired to keep going. Hit dirt, and I finally feel every ounce of hurt. Ain't no whiskey left to drown this pain, and no one left here to say my name. I look up, but the sky don't care, just stretches out like it ain't aware that a man broke down on a nowhere line between what he was and the end of time. And I don't give a sign, no forgiveness, no design, just a truth I can't decline. I'm crying on an empty road, let it all fall down. Every sin, every lie, every lost sound. Ain't no saving me tonight, just the echo of a long lost fight. Yeah, I'm crying on an empty road, stripped of every lie, with nothing left to hide and nowhere left to try. And if there's mercy, I don't know if it reaches this empty road. I'm crying on an empty road, and I finally see there ain't no running from what lives in me and every mile I ever rode. Let me hear crying on an empty road. Ain't no cars out here no more, just me and what I've done. There's a field out back where the scarecrows lean, like they're begging God for a life unseen. But the sky stays shut, never makes a sound, just watches us rot into the ground. I was raised on dirt in a whispered curse, every blessing given always turned out worse. Mama said, boy, don't dig too deep, but the soil don't lie and it don't forget me. And I felt it move when I broke that skin, like something below was pulling me in. The soil knows my name, it calls me down through the roots and bones underneath this town. Every sin I bury starts to rise again in the dark where it all begins. Hear it breathe through the cracks I made, like it's feeding on every debt unpaid. I don't run, I don't explain, I just sink when it calls my name. There's a shed full of tools that ain't been clean since the night I crossed that line unseen. Got a shovel worn from the weight of lies, and a stain that don't fade no matter how I try. I remember the night, but not the face, just the silence thick in that empty place, and the sound of earth as it swallowed whole what I swore would never take my soul. And the wind went dead when I walked away, like it knew I'll be back someday. The soil knows my name, it calls me down through the roots and bones underneath this town. Every sin I bear, it starts to rise again in the dark where it all begins. There's a boy in my dreams with a hollow stare, standing barefoot in the midnight air. He don't speak, but he don't need to. I can see the truth in what I knew. He points to the ground where the grass won't grow, where the dirt stays black and the cold winds blow. And I wake up choking on the same old dread, with his shadow still beside my bed. And the walls lean in when the night gets deep, like the garden secrets I tried to keep. Every creak, every breath, every hidden sound feels like something digging from underground. I went back there drunk with a shaking hand to the cursed patch of forgotten land. Started digging like a desperate man, but the hole dug back, I don't understand. The deeper I went, the colder it grew, till the dirt felt alive like it always knew. And I heard a voice from beneath the clay, you were never the one who walked away. Now the ground feels soft, every step I take, like it's waiting for me to finally break. I see faces form in the shifting earth, all the things I buried since my birth. And I feel my legs start sinking slow, like the end's been waiting below. If there's mercy left, it ain't for me, just a grave that's already set me free. The soil knows my name, I can't escape. It's been calling me down since my first mistake. Every breath I take just feeds that ground. Every heartbeat drags me further down. Hear it whisper low through the roots and rot. All you ever were is what you forgot. I don't fight, I don't complain, I just fade when it calls my name. The soil knows it always did. Every lie, everything I hid, now it's pulling me in, inch by inch, with a grip so cold it makes me flinch. If there's heaven, it's far from here, buried deep under guilt and fear. I don't live, I remain, just a ghost in the dirt with a name. So don't dig deep where the ground turns black. Don't look close, don't you look back, 'cause the earth don't forget what you try to hide. It just waits till you're ready to lie. And when you fall, it won't feel the same. You won't be screaming, you'll be answering. When the soil calls your name. The room was dim, the air stood still, like it was waiting on a wheel. No ticking clock, no final sound, just silence pressing all around. And in that hush so cold and thin, the devil started counting sin. He didn't knock, he didn't speak, just sat beside the broken wheat, like he had always been there first. Before the moment things went worse, he flipped through pages none could see, like they were written just for me. And every line I tried to hide was already open wide. No rage, no flame, no horns of flame, just numbers learning every name. And every breath I tried to take was just another break. The shadows lean, the walls went thin, like they were part of where he's been. And every truth I tried to keep just fell into the deep. The devil counted every sin I made underneath the pale charade. No mercy left, no place to run, just tally after done. Oh, I tried to lie, I tried to flee, but he already knew me, and every step I try to take still adds to what I break. He counted words I never said, and every thought inside my head. Not loud, not cruel, not overtly wrong, just where I don't belong. The room got colder with each song, like judgment finally had become. Not punishment, not final end, just something that won't bend. And when he smiled, it wasn't hate, just certainty sealed in fate. Like everything I am inside was already classified. The inkless pages turned alone, like sin was something overgrown, and every second passing through was added to the truth. The devil counted every sin I owned, like it had always been condoned. No alibi, no final plea, just what he saw in me. Oh, I tried to stop, I tried to hide, but the legend never lied, and every breath I try to keep still sinks into the deep. Now I don't speak when he is near, I only feel the numbers clear. No fire burns, no chains appear, just quiet learning fear. And every shadow that I cast feels like it's riding in the past, like nothing ever truly dies, it just gets analyzed. The devil doesn't shout or chase, he just remembers every place. It ain't the horns, it ain't the flame, it's everything without a name. Every thought we try to spin still gets counted as sin, and evil doesn't always roar. Sometimes it keeps a perfect score, till everything you try to be becomes a math of misery. The devil counted every sin in me, and I don't think I'm still free. No line to cross, no way to run, just numbers when he's done. Oh, I tried to pray, I tried to stay, but he counted anyway, and every breath I try to find still adds inside my mind. Now I don't ask, I don't resist, I let the ledger coexist. No truth to fix, no past to spin, just counting without end. And if you ever feel that chill where silence sits and time stands still, don't let it end, don't let it begin, or he'll start counting you within. The room stays dark, the night runs thin, but something never stops within, and I remain where shadows pin, while the devil counts every sin. There's a wind that howls through the dead corn rows. Where it comes from, nobody really knows. It don't just blow, it calls your name, like it's dragging guilt through a field of shame. I was young when I first heard it cry through a broken fence on a moonless night. Daddy said, boy, that ain't the breeze, that's the sound of things you'll never leave. and it followed me far past the county line, like a shadow stitched into my spine. The wind knows what I did back then, carries it slow through the hollow again. Every lie, every buried sin comes back alive when it rolls back in. Hear it whisper low through the trees and dust. You can't outrun what you become lost. I don't hide, I don't pretend, 'cause the wind knows where it begins. There's a field out back where the ground turned wrong, where the grass grew thin, then it all went gone. I remember the night, but not the why, just a shaking hand and a cut-off cry. There was dirt on my boots, blood on my sleeve, and a truth so dark I could barely breathe. I said, this'll stay where it's laid to rest, but the wind just laughed from the empty west, and it rose up cold when I turned away, like it marked the ground where I'd one day lay. The wind knows what I did back then, carries it slow through the hollow again. Every lie, every buried sin comes back alive when it rolls back in. Hear it whisper low through the trees and dust. You can't outrun what you become lost. I don't hide, I don't pretend, 'cause the wind knows where it begins. Met a drifter once by a roadside sign, said that storm behind you, it ain't just time. He looked at me like he'd seen it before, like he knew what was buried beneath that floor. I said, you don't know a thing about me. He just smiled then and turned to leave, said, you'll hear it louder before the end. Then he vanished right in the wind again, and the sky turned black without a cloud, like the silence itself got too loud. Every breath I took felt sharp and thin, like the storm was already under my skin. I tried to drown it out with a bottle of lies, but it screamed right through like 1,000 cries. Every gust hit hard like a hammer blow, saying dig it up, let the truth be known. So I went back out to that cursed patch of land with a trembling heart and a shaking hand. But the ground was bare, like it never stayed, like something else had already claimed. Now the wind don't pass, it lives in me, in every breath and every memory. I hear it speak when I close my eyes, through the cracks of truth I denied. And I see that night in every dream, every shadow ain't what it seems. If there's peace, it's long been gone, just a storm that keeps dragging on. The wind knows what I did back then. It don't forget and it don't pretend. Every step I take just feeds that sound, like it's circling close, pulling me down. Hear it howl through my hollow chest, like it won't stop till I confess. I don't run, I don't defend, I just wait for it to descend. The wind don't stop, it just digs in deep, through the bones of guilt I try to keep. Every breath I take ain't mine to hold, just a borrowed life already sold. If there's mercy, it missed this place, left me here in a storm I face. I don't break, I just bend, till the wind takes me in the end. So if you hear that wind at night, through the trees where there's no light, don't speak, don't let it in, 'cause it don't forget, and it don't forgive sin. after everything burns down. There's a porch light flickering on a broken southern night, where the air still smells like whiskey and a long lost fight. The air is thick with memory, sweet and bitter too. Like every mile I ran was a mile I ran from you. Cotton fields whisper stories in the evening breeze of a man who tried to outrun what he couldn't leave. And I hear your voice in the thunder rolling low, like a prayer I never learned, but always seem to know. And the night don't feel so cold when I remember what you told, even if I let it go. There's a fire in a southern heart that never dies, even buried under dust and endless lies. It keeps burning through the shame and pain I made, like a flame that refuses to fade. Yeah, there's a fire in a southern heart I can't deny. Even when I break down and wonder why, it keeps glowing through the darkest part. That fire in a southern heart. I left that town with nothing but a broken road ahead, and a pocket full of words I never said. Every state line I crossed felt like running from the truth, but the truth don't care about the things you choose. There's a gospel radio playing faint and slow, singing songs about a place I used to know. And I swear I see your shadow in the rearview glass, like a ghost that never lets the moment pass. Every highway I escape still leads me back to fate that I can't renegotiate. There's a fire in a southern heart that never dies, even buried under dust and endless lies. It keeps burning through the shame and pain I made, like a flame that refuses to fade. Yeah, there's a fire in a southern heart I can't deny. Even when I break down and wonder why, it keeps glowing through the darkest part. That fire in a southern heart. I tried to drown it in the rain, I tried to bury it in pain, but it comes back just the same. Like a hymn that won't forget, like a love I can't reset, like a debt I haven't paid yet. Sitting where the fields meet the fading sun, thinking of everything I might have done. And the fire still speaks in a language I know. It says, boy, you reap what you sow. But it don't feel like punishment tonight. It feels like something's still alive inside, like even broken things can start again if you let the flame back in. There's a fire in a southern heart that never dies, even when the world collapses and time denies. It keeps burning through the wreckage I faced, like a light that time can't erase. Yeah, there's a fire in a southern heart that won't let go, even after all the places I used to know. It still calls me back where I start, that fire in a southern heart. Maybe I lost a lot along the way, but I never lost that flame. There's a silo standing where the farmland died, with a rusted door and a hollow inside. Used to hold the harvest, golden and clean. Now it holds something no one's seen. I was working late when the sun went down, heard a scraping sound from the edge of town, like nails on tin or a voice too thin, calling something buried deep within. And the dust rose slow like it had a pulse, like it knew my name, like it knew my faults. There's a shadow in the grain, it's calling me through the rot and the rust and the memory. Every step I take, it grows more clear, like it's been waiting all these years. Hear it breathing low in the hollow steel, like it knows exactly what I conceal. I don't turn, I don't explain, I just walk toward the shadow in the grain. There's a ladder bent up the inner wall, where the echoes stretch and the whispers crawl. I climbed halfway, then I froze in place, saw a shape shift slow in the empty space. It moved like smoke, but it held its ground, like a living thing without a sound. And I swear it was something close to my face, just twisted wrong, out of place. And the air went thick, like it sealed me in, like the silo fed on the things within. There's a shadow in the grain, it's calling me through the rot and the rust and the memory. Every step I take, it grows more clear, like it's been waiting all these years. Hear it breathing low in the hollow steel, like it knows exactly what I conceal. I don't turn, I don't explain, I just walk toward the shadow in the grain. There's a carving deep in the metal skin, just a name and a date worn thin. I brushed it clean with a shaking hand, and it matched the mark from another land, from a place I swore I'd never speak, from a night so dark it made me weak. And the deeper I stared, the more I knew that the shadow there had always been me too. And the walls closed in with a heavy sound, like the past itself was circling round. Every breath I took turned dry and slow, like I'd crossed somewhere I shouldn't go. I tried to climb, but the rungs gave way, sent me sliding down into black decay. Hit the floor where the dust ran deep, but the ground beneath me didn't keep. It shifted, moved, began to breathe, like a living thing beneath the debris. And the voice came through, low and plain: you don't leave what you've sustained. Now I wander fields that no one tends, with a hollow stare that never bends. I see that silo in every dream, with that same low hum, that same dark gleam, and I feel it grow in the back of my mind like a second self I can't unwind. If I had a soul, it'd split in two. One stayed there and the other grew. There's a shadow in the grain, and it wears my face in a twisted form I can't erase. Every step I take just feeds it more, like it's pulling me back to that rusted door. Hear it whisper low through the empty land, you were never more than what I planned. I don't fight, I don't complain, I just feed the shadow in the grain. There's a shadow in the grain, it don't let go, it just grows beneath everything you know. Every lie you tell, every truth you hide, turns into the thing you keep inside. If there's mercy, it don't grow here, just a harvest made out of fear. I don't live, I remain, split in half by the shadow in the grain. If you pass that silo out in the dust, where the fields gave up and the crops all rust, don't step near, don't call its name, 'cause it ain't just dark, it's something you became. And once it sees what you've tried to contain, you won't walk out from the shadow in the grain.
Forgot what it was meant to do. The chapel door stood open wide, but something darker lived inside. The candles burned with a crooked flame, like they were ashamed to say his name. And every step I took within felt like I was walking into sin. He stood there dressed in black and white, preaching truth like it was light. Said, confess and you'll be clean, but his eyes said something in between. I knelt down where the wood was worn from broken faith and souls I won. And every word he spoke so clear still carried something I could feel. He talked of grace and mercy's hand, a promise, peace and holy land. But every verse he tried to claim sounded hollow, wrong and strained. There was a crack beneath his tone, like a truth he couldn't own. And every prayer he led us through felt like something twisted to the preacher. Light again tonight, wrapped in wrong and dressed as right. Every word he tried to say felt like digging deeper graves. So I tried to believe somehow, but I can see it clear now. And every truth I thought I knew was buried underneath his view. I stayed behind when all had gone to ask him where the truth had gone. He smiled slow but didn't speak, like he'd heard that question every week. His hands were clean, his voice was calm, but something there was far from warm. And when it finally met my stare, I saw no faith, no mercy there. He said, son, truth is what you need, but truth don't grow from planted seed. When roots are buried deep in lies and watered down with alibis, the walls creak soft like they agreed with every doubt I couldn't leave. And every cross that hung in place felt like it had lost its grace. The preacher lied again tonight, wrapped in wrong and dressed as right. Every word he tried to say felt like digging deeper graves. So I tried to believe somehow, but I can Pages torn and lines crossed blind, verses changed, meanings bent, like truth was something he could rent. And in the margins, faint but clear, were names of those who once stood here. Each one marked, each one gone, like they never truly belonged. The silence pressed against my chest, like something begging to confess that faith ain't built on borrowed sound. The truth itself is never found. And maybe it was never him, but all of us that followed in, looking for a lot to hold in stories we were always told. But truth don't bend, truth don't hide, it don't wear robes or pick a side. And every lie we let remain just gives the dark another name. The preacher lied again tonight, and I won't call it wrong or right, 'cause now I see what I became. Just another voice inside the same. Oh, I tried to stand apart, but doubt was always in my heart. And every truth I tried to claim got lost inside that preacher's name. Now the church stands cold and bare, no prayers left hanging in the air. The bell don't ring, the flame don't rise, just quiet echoes of disguised lies. And I don't kneel, I don't pretend to follow paths that twist and bend. I walk alone through doubt and pain, where truth survives beyond the chain. The doors still creak, the shadows bend, and somewhere he still speaks again. But I don't listen like I did then, 'cause I know the preacher lied.